Vidya Bros.
3, 2, 1.
Alright, welcome back to Vidya Bros. This we have here the Biggie Boy.
Yeah, what's up?
And G-Fry23. This is the first time we're trying this new format out, so if you guys, want to give us suggestions or comments below, let us know. And also, the email in the bottom of in the description of this video, or audio right now, as it will be, send us any comments or anything, or any questions you have that you want to talk to us about, and we'll answer them at the end of the next video, or podcast that we do. So, there's something I really wanted to talk about.
And what is that?
What the fuck happened to Sonic the Hedgehog?
Oh, so that's what we're going with first. You hit me with the loop on that one. No pun intended.
No. We'll get to the big stuff afterwards. We'll end it with the big thing.
Yeah. So, yeah, a couple of days ago, I believe it was, Tuesday or Wednesday?
I'm just gonna say a week. I'm gonna say anywhere between Monday to Wednesday.
I think it was, Tuesday. Well, sometime earlier this week, there was a trailer that launched, and Jeff texted me about it, and I watched it as I was on break at work. And it was for the Sonic the Hedgehog movie that Sega and Paramount Pictures are working on together. And, my god, Sonic doesn't look like Sonic. He looks like a horror movie creature. I know this movie's not aimed at people like us that grew up with the series, but I don't think Sonic should look like this is a horror movie. I don't think Sega told Paramount Pictures that this wasn't supposed to be a horror movie. I think that, they forgot to tell them that part. And Young Ye said in a video he did reacting to the trailer, he said that, and he looked at still images from the trailer, in another video, and he said that, you know the image of Sonic with his back and on the road where his back's to the camera and he's standing on a road?
Yeah.
At that part in the trailer, he said, this looks like Richard Simmons put on a furry onesie.
Oh my god, yes.
Then put on red Nikes. And then he went Super Saiyan 3. And I'm like, you know what? That's a pretty accurate description.
Okay, I will. There's two things I want to say. I've watched it myself before I watched any other YouTuber.
Well, yeah, same. I saw the trailer first, and then I saw everyone else's, and they're like, what the hell is this? And I'm like, yeah, I am there with you. I
will agree with two people on this. If you guys on YouTube watch RGT85,
I knew you were going to say that.
Or if you watch Arlo, and now, I mean, I will agree with them for when they said this, but now that it's changed, I have a different viewpoint on this, because I just don't know how it's going to work out, but
I don't either.
What Arlo made perfect sense. This movie was not a mistake. Literally, they knew what they were doing. They knew they were going to fuck this up. They knew exactly what they were doing, because no matter what, it's going to appeal to young kids who don't know what Sonic the Hedgehog really is yet. It's gonna...
The kids that only know about Sonic because of Smash Brothers.
Or that. Or all they ever played was anything up from Unleashed to,
Forces.
Yeah, from Sonic Forces. And it's gonna appeal to everyone who does know what Sonic the Hedgehog is, because they want to see what, Paramount Pictures can do with this. And it's gonna also appeal to everyone that just watches bad movies to see how hilarious they are.
Yeah, like us when we saw Monster Trucks in 2017, which, by the way, is on Hulu now. But yeah, I'll pay to see a movie if it's hilariously bad, if I know I'm gonna have a good time with how bad it is.
Yeah.
I mean, that's why I saw Best Friends, which was one of the other movies that the guys behind the room did.
Yeah,
I'll watch those movies. Speaking of which, Tommy Wiseau has Big Shark coming out, and it's you know what? Yeah, that looks ridiculously awful, but of course that's the point. That's why I'm going to watch it.
What was it?
But this movie, I'm like, no, what were you thinking with this one?
You know what I said to Brandon when he first told me about that?
What?
He's like, you're going to have a movie, and it's going to be a movie like Jaws or Sharknado, but the only thing he's going to do is he's going to look at the shark, run away from it, in Tommy Wiseau fashion, and then Just because
Tommy Wiseau,
whatever. No one knows his exact full name. He's like some kind of American Russian something. From all we know.
He's supposedly from Poland.
Poland, okay. But he's gonna look at the shark, he's gonna scream, run away in bad camera fashion, because I've never seen that guy run. But actually no, I've seen him like kind of like run, like he sprinted when he was playing football in a tuxedo. So I'll give him that. But so here's the thing, he's gonna run away. Like, he's gonna have a wedding somewhere, right? The shark gonna come after him. He's gonna run away and sprint away. But then the shark gonna get really close, and then he's just gonna come out of nowhere and then throw spoons at him as an attack. He's gonna just throw the spoon at the shark.
Tommy Wiseau for Smash Brothers confirmed. This is the second DLC character.
And then, once the shark goes down, he's gonna look at the shark, figure out what he's trying to say, and then think of nothing, and then go,
"Oh, hi, shark."
Yes, you stole the word right out of my mouth.
Instead of "Oh, hi, Mark," it's gonna be "Oh, hi, shark."
No, I'm gonna be "Oh, hi, doggy. Oh, hi, sharky."
But yeah, I'm definitely looking forward to seeing it. But yeah, no, Sonic's trailer went so overwhelmingly awful to the point where the director of the film, Jeff Fowler, tweeted that they're going to improve Sonic's design and change it because of how many people hated it.
Here's the thing.
And here's the thing. The movie comes out like 6 months from now.
5.
6. It's May. Plus 5 plus 6 is 11. 11 is in November. That's the 11th month.
Yeah, but they have 5 months because they have to fix. You cut out a month because once it's finalized, they have to distribute it to the theaters and do all that paperwork and stuff like that. So you give it 5 months. So
they have like less than half a year to make Sonic's model look better. And even in the end of the hashtag in his tweet, he put a hashtag saying "gotta fix fast" instead of "gotta go fast," which made me cringe, but also made me think, maybe he decided to actually start caring about how people are going to view his movie, and actually maybe now he wants to actually make a good movie. I mean, yes, a bad design for a character doesn't make a movie bad, but I mean, also the whole stereotypical, like we've seen it 1,000 times, government conspiracy plot, like that's not going to change, sadly, I don't think, but the design will at least look good, and people are already on board with having Jim Carrey as Robotnik, especially because over the years Jim Carrey has lost his absolute mind.
I will agree with RGT85 on this.
So he's lost his mind over the past several years. He's totally deranged, Jim Carrey, and like he's insane, but it's like that actually makes perfect motivation to put him as Dr. Robotnik. I mean, he's very miscast, but he's not really in anything.
Did you see that whole thing where he went to the Oscars or something like that?
But you know what someone needs to do?
What?
He's not, and I'll say this as I agreed with RGT85 before I even heard him say this. Jim Carrey's not fat. Put him in a fat suit or something.
Well, we don't know. We only seen the top. Like, we've seen that. Like, it's weird. Robotnik is a robot, apparently, in this movie at first, at the beginning of the trailer, but at the end, they show him as Eggman.
They make him seem like that's what they're doing, but that's not what they're doing.
I know, if you look at the trailer, he's literally talking like he's a robot, like in the beginning. When he's not looking like Eggman with the bald head and the mustache and whatever.
He was just being really sassy. They made Jim Carrey sassy.
No, but I will agree with RGT85 on this and say that Jim Carrey is literally just being Ace Ventura and Dr. Robotnik.
Yeah, pretty much. That's why everyone's like, you know what, I'm on board. That should be interesting.
But Jim Carrey will carry the movie.
I'm actually wondering that. Will he carry the movie?
Also, I want to agree with RGT85 on this part when two things that doesn't make any sense to me whatsoever. Like, I understand what this movie's trying to do, and if you just watch the trailer without any, like, added stuff to it, but, like, why was Coolio Gangster Paradise in there?
I was wondering that exact same thing when I very first saw the trailer. I'm like, wait, why is this song in the trailer? And then everyone else started saying the same thing when they did. And I'm like, oh, I'm not alone then. I'm not the only one that thought that it was really out of place.
It is out of place. And then
it's extremely out of place. And then he started claiming people's videos and copyrighting them and stuff because of them doing reaction videos to their trailer just because his song was used in it. It's like, dude, you've done, like, nothing of importance in, like, over 20 years. Why are you coming out of the woodworks now to just claim, not claim, but copyright people's, like, videos for using, like, for them doing reaction videos to a movie that has your song in it. It's like, no, this is fair use. That's how it works.
Alright,
But I digress.
Yeah, I want to end this part off right here, to wrap it up.
But yeah, they should have used a different, like, use, like, Green Hill Zone, or use some type of Sonic song. Like, maybe use City Escape or something.
I don't know if they can get the rights to all that, but what I will say, though, is...
But Sega's working with them on the movie, though.
It's the intellectual property part. It's like, here's Robotnik, here's Sonic, do something with it. Not like... Because even Green Hill Zone, for some reason or another, and I don't want to go into a whole thing about this...
That whole copyright thing with the music?
No, not the music, but I don't want to go into the whole thing about this, but apparently, just like how Sonic 3 is, and Sonic and Knuckles, how they don't put Sonic 3 or Knuckles on anything anymore.
Yeah, because of Michael Jackson having
been involved. Like, apparently some other company that was tied to Sega at the time of making Sonic 1 owns and only owns Green Hill music, like the original track for it. That's why they can't use it, per se. But, since we already hit the 10-minute mark past that, I want to wrap this up now and go into the next segment.
Yeah, because the next one's the meat of the video of here. The meat of the burger, if you will.
What did you want to talk about?
Avengers Endgame.
Oh, I wanted to say that for the very end so people have something to look forward to.
Well, what other thing are we talking about right now, then?
Detective Pikachu?
The only thing I'm going to say right now about Detective Pikachu, because I haven't seen it yet.
No one has seen it yet. I don't think it's out yet.
Well, early reviews, people have been able, like, critics that have seen it already, like, Game Explain and stuff, like, anyone that's, like, done reviews as far as that goes, where it's like they already saw it a week early because their channels are big enough for them to do that.
Yeah.
But, like, or like Chris Tucker, for example, where he does that. But, like, yeah, people are saying that, Detective Pikachu has been getting, like, overwhelmingly positive reviews. And, you know what's funny? I saw a video a couple hours ago from Yang Ye, and the director of Detective Pikachu has even responded and commented on the backlash for the Sonic trailer. And in the thumbnail that Yang Ye did, there's like a picture of Detective Pikachu, and then Sonic is on the right of him, and it says in air quotes, in between air quotes, it says, "I wouldn't want to be in his shoes."
I wouldn't want to be in his shoes either.
You know what? I agree.
Actually, you know what?
The director was, like, criticizing them and talking about, like, I don't remember exactly what the director said, but you can find it on their Twitter page. I'll link it in the description below if I can find the tweet. But I mean, yeah, they even were speaking out and, like, criticizing, like, the whole backlash with the Sonic trailer.
What I don't get though is, like, how they took them until the actual trailer to come out. Because listen, I don't care who you are, what kind of company you're running or whatnot, but there's no way. There's just no way that you are, standing by anything that happened before the trailer. Like, if anything comes out saying you got Smash Brothers that came out, and then all these leaks started coming out, and then you have, say if, like, Kingdom Hearts 4 was a thing, whatever, and then that got leaked out somehow. And there was, like, leaked pictures and whatnot. Sonic the Hedgehog, the movie, got leaked out before this was even, a trailer came out. And I don't understand how you have Paramount and as a company of Sega, or whoever's in charge of the actual movie itself, like doing the actual movie.
Paramount Pictures.
Yeah. But I don't understand how you saw all that and did not go once into Twitter or on the internet and see all the backlash before the trailer even happened and then decide to fix it, because honestly, you would have had more time to do that.
Yeah.
At that point. But one question I do want to ask you about. I do want to ask you.
I'm excited next weekend for Detective Pikachu. It actually looks promising.
You going next weekend?
I'm seeing it Saturday, because Friday I'm going to see Death Angel at the PlayStation Studio.
If I get home early enough, can I come with you?
Yeah.
Who are you seeing it with?
Sean.
Ooh.
And Jared, because Jared wants to see it too.
Oh, nice. I like to watch that movie.
Jared was initially criticizing it and saying that it, like, the models and everything, and that the movie didn't look good. But now even he's just like, yeah, actually I've changed my mind. I want to see it, because I've heard nothing but good things since people started seeing early reviews of it. And you know what? Me and Jared are both lifelong, like, huge Pokemon fans. So, you know what? I'm on board. I'm excited for this. I really want to see it.
Now, let me ask you this now.
Although I'm still sad that they didn't get Danny DeVito.
I know, we all
I
love
Ryan Reynolds, but I love Danny DeVito more.
What the frack is a Pokemon? I can't even do his voice, but...
Yeah.
No, but let me ask you this, though. In, like, comparing Detective Pikachu to, like, every other gaming movie out there. What's your take on, like, realistic video game animal characters in, like, CGI'd into movies?
There's a point where they could be done well, which with Detective Pikachu.
I mean, some of them still look a little bit creepy. Like Mr. Mime, I'll give it looks a little bit creepy.
Yeah, but you can at least tell who that's supposed to be. The thing is with Detective Pikachu, at least with all the Pokemon in there, whether or not you like the designs of any of the Pokemon, like the models or anything, all the renders, you know who they are if you're a Pokemon fan. You know who each one's supposed to be. Like, you see the army of the frogs in the sky, like in a trailer, you know that, oh, that's Greninja. You see Mr. Mime, like, with the chairs and, like, in that one interrogation scene, you know it's Mr. Mime. Obviously, when you hear Ryan Reynolds' voice and you see the adorable little mouse, you know it's Pikachu. You, like, each one, you can recognize them right away from looking at them. With the Sonic the Hedgehog movie trailer, like, I don't even know what that is. If they didn't say the title of the movie at the end, or showed the rings surrounding the Paramount Pictures thing at the beginning trailer, which I will admit that actually is cool, the way they did that. But if they didn't do either of those two things in a trailer, if I had never heard of Sonic, I wouldn't know what this thing is. I'm like, what is this movie?
No, I
don't know what this is.
I will agree with you on that.
I'm like, I don't know what the hell this is supposed to be. Is this some type of 80s cartoon or something? That's what the ignorant me would have thought if I didn't know anything about Sonic.
You know what I don't...
They didn't show those things. I'm like, I've never heard of this.
You know what I don't want now, knowing what came of that trailer so far? So what I don't want?
So I'm hoping that, even if I'm kind of doubting that they're going to make the model look amazing for the movie now, I'm hoping they can at least, you know, make Sonic look like Sonic. I'm hoping they can at least do that. I
mean, I guess you got five months to make a movie, finish this movie. I don't see how you can change it. When you already have a trailer out, meaning you know what 90% of your movie is going to be now. I don't see how you can take 5 months and change every single part that was CGI'd and then change it for the movie.
You know what my mom said?
With the script and everything too, by the way, but...
Yeah, because the script I'm not too crazy about either. Like, but if you can have a fun time with Jim Carrey, and if Sonic actually looks how he's supposed to look, the movie could be decent. But I mean, the whole government stereotypical plot of like, oh, the government's like, of course that's not going to change, sadly. So it's going to be another stereotypical plot with that. But I mean, hopefully the movie's at least decent. But you know what my mom said the other day when they were talking about she had the news on while I was eating dinner, and that's the only time I ever watched the news for like 5 minutes, and then I go in my room and do whatever. They were talking about how, like, there was a trailer out for the Sonic movie, and everyone was talking about it online and on the radio and everywhere. And my mom was saying, do you remember that terrible movie, Hop?
Yes.
And ironically enough, the same actor is in the Sonic movie that was in Hop. That's the same guy.
Really?
Yeah. But the model of Hop in that movie, like the bunny, at least he looked like a bunny. And also, like, you know what's weird is, my mom was saying that the model they have for Sonic in this movie, she was saying he looks like Hop. And I'm like, yeah, you're right. He does kind of look like the rabbit from Hop.
I wouldn't be surprised if it's the same people. Well, it's not the same people making the movie.
No, that's Illumination that made Hop.
I think Illumination would do a better job making Sonic the Hedgehog than Paramount Pictures.
I mean, they would if they weren't already handling the Mario movie. Oh my god. There's a Mega Man movie coming out, a Mario movie coming out, there's a Sonic movie coming out, there's a
I'm more afraid.
Do you think that all these movies are going to lead and have trailers at the end where Sakurai speaks to the characters and says, alright, well now we're going to recruit you for the Smash Brothers initiative, and then eventually there's going to be a Smash Brothers movie. Do you think that's going to happen?
It's just going to be like Avengers, but it's going to be Smash Brothers.
I kind of want to see that.
Because
if they get the people mainly behind Detective Pikachu, maybe it could be good.
Well, Detective Pikachu is more of a comedy. Like, I understand Sonic's supposed to be a comedy too, but at least you have comedy writers on Detective Pikachu. You have the people that made 22 Jump Street on there.
Oh, that's another idea. Get Phil Lord and Chris Miller to write the Smash Brothers movie. That would be amazing. I want that now.
But I feel like if it were Paramount Pictures, they wouldn't have the budget or the time to hire a real Japanese guy to portray Sakurai. It would just be a generic white guy.
Oh yeah, you're right on that. But only one can dream. But yeah, she was right on that. I agree with her. Sonic kind of looks like Hop.
Well, you know what I'm really afraid of? Like, I'm more I don't, like, I can see where Sonic's going right now, and if they make a Mario movie, even though Illumination's working on Mario, it could be pretty good, because Illumination does some good stuff.
Miyamoto's also breathing down their necks, making sure they don't screw it up.
Yeah. But, what I don't want is Paramount Pictures to make a Mega Man movie. Yeah. I don't know who's working on that, but I don't want Paramount Pictures to do it because of the way Sonic is.
I just know that it's a thing. I have no idea who's working on it.
Because it's either going to go one or two ways. It could be because you can't. Mega Man is a humanoid robot. Listen. There's no way to screw that up unless you take the human part. I mean, unless you take the robot part and fuck up the armor somehow.
The only way you'd fuck it up is if you hand it over to Michael Bay.
Michael Bay would do some crazy shit. It'd be like...
But he's currently doing the Dora the Explorer movie, so...
Michael Bay would just be like, well, you're a robot. Transformer time. I don't know what I'm doing.
I mean, considering Mega Man has a few different transformations when he combines with Rush, that would be the only time it makes sense. Is like if he uses Rush and goes into Rush Jet mode, it's like, yeah, I could see that happening.
Yeah, but I kind of see it now. Like, you got the real human part for Mega Man, of course.
That would actually make sense.
Yeah, but you got the real human part for Mega Man, but I feel like it's gonna be like whatever. Like they're gonna CGI a real dog into this.
Yeah.
Like I'm picturing right now lesser quality version of what Disney can do with photorealism CGI, and then put a robot suit over that. That's what I'm thinking for Rush. Like, I'm thinking of, like, a really poor quality Disney version of Rush. Like, you know what I'm going with, right?
Yeah, I do.
Sadly. Like, think of the Lion King movie, like the live action one that's coming out.
Yeah.
But take that, downgrade it a tiny bit, and then put a robot suit over an animal.
I don't want that now.
No, I don't. But, like, or, you know what it could do?
What?
I have an idea, and I don't know why, and I feel like this is the plot of the movie. Like, Mega Man's gonna have to go and save the world for something or another, right?
Yeah.
Defeat all the robot masters in about 2 hours. But they're gonna talk about his past life by doing that. And it's literally gonna be him in his home, sitting on the couch, fat and depressed. Just like the Mega Man, what do you call it? The Mega Man 1, box art.
Yeah.
And then Dr. Light's gonna come in and tell him to get the fuck up, or I'm gonna, like, you gotta save the world again, and if you don't do this, you're gonna either die, because we're all gonna die, or you're gonna die trying, because in the way you are, not gonna work, and I'm gonna dismantle you. And he's gonna try to have, like, some kind of 80s, I feel like in there is gonna be, like, Dr. Light trying to have Mega Man do a workout session in an 80s montage.
Alright, so,
now, let us know what you think of all that, guys.
Do you also think that there's going to be a Smash Brothers movie eventually? Because I wouldn't be surprised at this point.
Listen,
no, I'm asking them, but let us know what you think in the comments below about that.
Honestly, I'm going to say this and wrap this up.
I'm interested to see what people have to say.
I for one, do not want a Smash Brothers movie. Like, I could dream of one, and, it'd be the best thing in the world. I could dream of it.
If it's a fully animated film, I think that could actually work way better.
Only if you got Studio Ghibli and you got, whoever the fuck was working on, what do you call it?
Persona 5? Because the art style for the characters, I think, would be amazing.
No, I want the studio that made the Star Fox animation for Star Fox Zero.
Oh yeah, the Star Fox anime pilot. Like that would... It was... I think that was like the studio behind Ghost in a Shell and Attack on Titan.
Yes.
Yeah,
I want that. And I wish, Nintendo would come up and, give us more of that. Like, that would have been awesome. I think, if I'm not mistaken, I could be wrong though, but I think they used that same company for, like, those anime-esque trailers when they had character reveals for Smash Brothers for Wii U.
Considering the character trailer for Joker was very much like in that type of style, I wouldn't really be surprised, considering Persona's very anime looking.
Well, they used the Persona style, because the people who made that trailer were the Persona 5 creators.
It was Atlas.
Yeah, Atlas made that. But I'm talking about like when they revealed like Pit and
when they revealed Pit and Palutena and Dark Pit in that trailer for Smash 4.
And then was that the one where he was fighting Link?
Yeah, he was. And then
like
Dark
that.
Pit showed up at the end.
And then the one where they had Lucina versus Captain Falcon, which was a weird combination to see like in anime form, but it Smash Brothers, so it works out. But like I said, I want like a thing like that, but at the same time, I just don't want a Smash Brothers movie because there's one thing that I just don't understand.
What?
And Sakurai still doesn't understand it either, and I won't be able to convey it to him, or no one will be able to convey it to him. Only Sakurai can do what Sakurai can do. But Smash Brothers never has had a legit story to it, like Mortal Kombat or Street Fighter.
Everyone's just kind of there.
Like Street Fighter had its own story, at least for the campaign. Mortal Kombat over the years had its own story for the campaign, and then Mortal Kombat's story actually kept expanding until Mortal Kombat 11. But my whole thing is though, was like Smash Brothers itself. What is it? It's just taking every Nintendo character and third party. That's gonna be the hardest thing in the world because you're gonna have to get Capcom involved.
You have to get so many different companies involved. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't even. That's just going above and beyond. Like they're gonna have like.
They'll have to get Konami, they'll have to get Capcom, Atlas.
Konami's never made a movie.
Square Enix, Monolith Software, which
if it was a live action,
Nintendo, so it might be not.
If it was live action though, I could see. No, never mind. I was thinking you're gonna have the like really bad and really good at the same time. You're gonna have the guy that did Bob
Hoskins?
Yeah.
He's dead.
Oh.
He can't.
Did he die of too many ingestion of coins? Did he die on that? Did he die because Yoshi found out that all Mario cares about is jumping off of him when he's trying to get over a ledge and falling him into a pit?
I think he had like cancer or something. I don't remember, but he died years ago.
If you guys don't know Bob Hoskins,
he played Mario in the terrible like 80s Mario Brothers movie.
Speaking of that, like. I just don't know where that movie went. Like, I even told one of my friends about this, and it was like, you know what Yoshi is. Why is he realistic and Bowser not? Like, why is Bowser a human and Yoshi's a dinosaur, an actual dinosaur? Like,
that made no sense, I know. And also, why is Daisy in the movie and not Peach? I don't get it. There's a lot of things you can nitpick about it all day, but we don't have the time.
No, okay. So this is gonna definitely go over the 30-minute mark, but it's a podcast type thing, so we'll keep it whatever the fuck. This is our first time doing it. We'll get better as we go, but
yeah. So Avengers Endgame. First, we should talk no spoilers and just talk about our thoughts.
Okay, so like
and then after that, we'll talk about.
We'll go into we'll count it now. 5 minutes from now, we'll be spoiler free.
Okay.
I don't think I have 5 minutes worth of non-spoilers, but I will say this though, you will hate yourself in the beginning of the movie. You'll go in there and be like, why did I spend $20 to watch this movie? And then after that, you'll be like, holy shit, this is like the best movie I've ever seen so far. But
I know people last year were thinking that Infinity War would go down as like this generation's equivalent to like The Empire Strikes Back. I agree with that, but I mean, now this movie, I'm like, I don't know. I think this movie is a step above Infinity War. I mean, Infinity War was amazing, but like, I don't know. This movie felt like more personal, I guess.
Well, here's my take on it. Because if everyone's going online now saying what's better, Infinity War or Endgame, and
I mean, I love both of them, but
I like both of them. But I'm gonna go out with this right now. You like if you know anything about any superhero thing whatsoever, any superhero comic, any superhero movie, any superhero TV show, you know that all the Avengers are gonna come together and defeat Thanos. Because that's how anything happens.
Plus, it happened in the comics where everyone that got vaporized in Infinity War, they come back eventually.
But put it this way: if you're gonna make a movie, the second part to end the first part, how are you gonna say that? How are you gonna say that the first part is better than the second part? If the second part is the climactic part of the whole thing.
Yeah.
Like that's what I'm trying to say. Like I'm not saying like there are parts that I didn't like about Endgame, little parts here. In there, but overall, it's still a great movie, and like I'm not saying it's better or worse than Infinity War, but if you think about it logically, like there's no way that it could be worse than than in Infinity War because it is Marvel, and Marvel and Disney can do some crazy ass stuff sometimes with their movies. But if you're making a 2-part movie, meaning you have a legitly 5.5 hours worth of content right there, and you're gonna use that second part to end the entire 14 movie or whatever it is, 12 to 14 movie lifespan of the entire thing going forward from it, you can't deny that Endgame just has to be better based on that. Like, not whatever happens in it, you can't deny that Endgame has to be better than Infinity War because of that.
Yeah, 20 movies went into making.
And what 20 movies?
20 movies went into the making for leading up to Infinity War, and then after that, there was only 2 other movies that led into Endgame, which were Ant-Man and the Wasp and Captain Marvel. So Endgame, Endgame, it's 22 movies that lead into it.
I thought Ant-Man. Well, didn't they have Ant-Man, then Ant-Man and the Wasp?
Ant-Man and the Wasp came out after Infinity War. So Ant-Man and the Wasp and Captain Marvel were the only 2 other movies that came out between Endgame and Infinity War that are part of, like, the main MCU. But, like, so the Endgame has 22 movies that led up to it, and while Infinity War was 22. But, like, each of them took, like, about a decade to take this long to build up to it. With Endgame, it was 11 movies, because 2008 is when Iron Man 1 came out. Infinity War came out in 2018, so Infinity War was, like, 10 years went into making for that movie that led up to it.
Oh,
so I absolutely love this movie. My whole theater, including myself, like, when the movie was funny, it was really funny. Like, everyone was laughing. The movie also had really emotional scenes that I'll get into when we talk about the spoilers. But, I mean, there were so many stakes in this movie. Like, I was surprised that Thor wasn't wearing a shirt that said "Raise the Stakes." Because, I mean, someone should have as a joke. But, I mean, the movie was amazing. I mean, I'm not going to say it was perfect. There were certain things that I thought were kind of cringy towards the end, but other than that, I thought this movie was fantastic. I would definitely buy it on Blu-ray when it comes out, like I did with Into the Spider-Verse. I'd watch it again.
I will. You know what I want to do? And just because of how good the whole thing was, I want to own, like, I wish they released, I mean, it would cost a lot of money, but, I mean, as a whole thing, but if they released a box set of, like, the entire 22 movies.
It would probably be like $1,000 box set.
No, I wouldn't be $1,000.
Okay, well, $500. That makes more sense, because it's a lot
I'm thinking like anywhere between $150 to $200.
I don't think that.
If they don't include, like, collector things, like this, like, you get this, you get a Thanos, you get a, what do you call it, and you get, like, an Iron Man thing, or you get
a statue or something.
Like, not a statue, but, like, more like Amiibo, but, like, a little less quality, so you can at least have them. Or like a poster or something.
But yeah, I think the Russo brothers really outdid themselves with this one. Those guys are really good directors.
They are, and I'm glad.
I'm excited to see what movies they direct next, because there was a trailer before Endgame of this movie called 21 Bridges, and I'm like, the Russo brothers behind this? Huh. I'm like, yeah, that's interesting.
Yeah, you know why though?
Because now they're not going to be directing any more Marvel movies.
Yeah, they confirmed that.
Yeah, no, they were done with Endgame.
That makes sense. But I will give them credit for wanting to do that, because you don't want to overstay your welcome.
You know,
like sure, if you want to keep going with Marvel movies, that's up to you. But I feel like you went 22 movies in. That's a lot of work that you did, and you already had this plan all along to begin with.
Well, they weren't directing all the other movies. All the other movies had different directors. They were directing the Avengers movies themselves.
Yeah, I know. What I'm saying is up to leading to it, they had a bigger. They must have parts and roles into it also, because it all had a tie-in all together. So they must have been here and there on the other movies also.
Like, I know Jon Favreau was the one that directed the Iron Man movies. I believe the Russo brothers directed the Captain America movies, I think. Taika Waititi did Thor Ragnarok, and I believe the other Thor movies, and James Gunn, obviously, for Guardians of the Galaxy.
When you say Taika what?
Taika Waititi. That's his name, the guy that did the Thor movies. At least, I know he at least did Ragnarok. I don't remember if he did the other two. I think he did, but yeah, he did the Thor movies. But, like, each of the different series that were within Avengers all had different directors and different writers and everyone, different everything. But, so yeah, I think they did an amazing job, and I think people will remember this movie for years to come. I couldn't tell you how many times everyone in my theater was laughing. By the way, if you haven't seen Endgame yet, don't buy a drink going into the theater unless...
I bought a drink. I didn't have to pay, though, but I had a small drink.
Okay. Well, if you... I know it's not going to seem to be applied for everyone, but I'm warning most of you right now. Do not buy a drink. It's a bad idea unless you're wearing a diaper, which I'm sure there are people that did that for this movie. You never know. I'm sure at least one person did that. Am I wrong? Someone had to have done that.
You just go to the store, like you go to the movie theater and they just hand you Avengers themed adult diapers.
Oh my god. But yeah.
It's like this product has a big warning label. 3-hour movie. Do what you can.
Oh my god.
But you know what was crazy though?
Someone definitely did that.
And speaking on that, you know what was really stupid? And I don't understand how this was not a spoiler to anyone. Like, they literally said, like, there were like articles and posts out there saying, spoiler-free article on Avengers Endgame. Like, this is the time in the movie. These are the times in the movie where you can go to the bathroom. Like,
yeah, the Quartering did a video of that telling you when you should and shouldn't. Like,
yeah, I was like, if you're telling people,
guide to seeing the movie,
if you're telling people when to go to the bathroom, when you can't go to the bathroom, you're already spoiling parts of the movie right then and there. So, like, how are you telling me any like, what are you doing? Not that I don't care for spoilers, because I will go and say this though, spoilers for me are like a joke, because
yeah, I'm not one that gets really that mad over spoilers.
I don't get mad over spoilers, because think about this. You can tell me that oh, by the way, we're in the spoiler territory now. So
yeah.
where we can say whatever the fuck we want.
Alright, so you've been warned right now. Spoilers. So
you've been warned. You can go outside, we're not gonna beat you up over this. We're not gonna be a Chinese guy that get beat up over spoilers.
Oh yeah, that guy was a dick. I don't feel bad for him at all.
No.
I mean, I'm not wishing anything upon that to anyone, but no, that guy kinda should have thought about it he was doing first. He didn't think it through.
You made me lose my train of thought now. I was going into something. I forgot what I was gonna say.
Oh.
No, I said something right before it was spoiler territory.
You're saying going outside.
Going outside.
You go outside, just relax, and you're saying you don't care for spoilers.
Oh, yeah. Okay, like, I don't care for spoilers, because you can tell me all you want that, that Captain Marvel shows up like 4 times in the movie, and, once in the beginning just because she's there, and then at the end because she had to be there, and then to save the fucking planet again, and then this and that. You can tell me all that shit, and whatever, and then, but it's like...
She only has like 15 minutes of screen time.
And then you can tell me also that, that Captain America was able to be worthy enough for Thor to be able to use Thor's hammer. And you can tell me all that, but it's like, I don't, like, you can tell me that, it's like, okay, but where's the part leading up to that? Like, I need to see the whole thing.
Yeah, because
like,
then that doesn't make sense.
Like, it doesn't make any sense, like...
Without context, it makes no sense.
No, it's like, okay, Thanos died in the beginning of the movie. Like, in the beginning of the movie, like, what the fuck you're gonna tell me...
movie's over.
No, it's like, you're gonna tell me, like, that's why I said you're gonna hate yourself in the first 20 minutes of the movie. You're gonna be there and be like, well, Thanos died.
Movie's over.
Movie's over. Just like when we played on a show, when we played Symphony of the Night, like, first 5 minutes, we already
faced the final boss, and it's like, alright.
I mean, that's a good idea. Do you ever see those things, oh no, you can't, but there's like posts on Facebook. It's like, this is what happens when Thanos makes breakfast. And like, you just see people dying for some reason.
But,
so...
One of the funniest lines in the whole movie, Perry told me about before I saw it, because he told me already who died in it, which I didn't really care. I was like, sadly I went in knowing who dies, but I'm like, you know what, I'll see the scene when I see it, so I know to be upset about it, because I know it's coming, but I mean, like, either way, regardless, I knew who I knew was gonna die, at least one of them I knew was going to, but one scene I thought was hilarious was, and he said, I believe this is from the comics, they use this line, when everyone goes back into different time periods from the other older movies to get back the Infinity Stones, when Captain America's fighting his past self from Avengers 1, in the
when he says, that's what it really doesn't...
Because Iron Man, like, was looking at, Captain America's past self, he was like, wow, Steve, that suit, like, really did nothing for your ass. And then Ant-Man says, like, hey, as far as I'm concerned, that is America's ass. And then when Captain America fought his past self and defeated himself, and he knocked his past self unconscious, he just looks at his past self, lay down on the ground, and looks at his ass, and he's just like, that is America's ass.
One thing
that line is from the comics, from what Perry told me. I'm like, I didn't catch up on the comics for Infinity Gauntlet, but I've read part of them. I'm like, I know that's a thing. I'm like, okay, that's really funny that they said that. And also, Fat Thor is freaking hilarious. Going into that movie, like, they were making... Oh my god. They're like, Iron Man's like, wow, he looks like the Big Lebowski.
that's what Iron Man's... Yeah, that was hilarious.
And now people are calling him Lebowski Thor. He's just... Perry brought up a good point, though, because I'm not really a Fortnite fan, but he was quote-unquote saying, out of all the games they could have had Thor playing in the movie, they chose the Justin Bieber of video games.
You know what makes no sense, though?
He's just sitting there disheveled, drinking beer, eating pizza, and just sitting there being fat and playing Fortnite.
Well, you know why? Because, it's advertising for them. Again.
Well, yeah.
And, it panders to the younger audience. Again. But, you know what would have been cool? And I don't know if they're allowed to do it, if it would make any sense, though. Like, if they were just sitting there, Thor's playing, Ultimate Alliance.
Okay, that'd be funny.
Wait, no, is there an actual Avengers game? Or is it Ultimate Alliance, is it?
That's basically what they are, because it has all the Marvel characters in them.
Okay.
And then there's the one coming out in the summer for the Switch. I'm excited for that. Thanos is going to be in it, by the way.
Oh my god! If only that movie were rated R. Only because they should have just because they're all adults in that movie.
Yeah,
it would have been just hilarious because it's a Marvel thing.
I mean, the only one that's not is Tom Holland. Tom Holland's I think like 16 or 17. He's the youngest actor in the movie.
No, but it would have been hilarious
as far as like all the heroes go.
Just to place a rated R on there, just to get it in there. Instead of playing Fortnite, they just should have played the Deadpool video game.
Okay, that'd be funny.
Just to reference him, he's like, well, he is part of Marvel, just so you know. And then he comes out of nowhere, like, it just comes around, like, says something to Thor, just to piss him off.
Yeah. But, like, I thought another really funny part is when Ant-Man's, like, testing out the machine before figuring out, okay, this is what we gotta do now, and get, like, that, like, the red stuff that they were using to time travel. He's just, like,
oh, I forget what they're called, but it starts with a P, though.
And he's just like, someone peed my pants, but I'm not sure if it's baby me, old me, or just me. And Jared, speaking of peeing, Jared, like, at the part in the movie where Tony goes back into the past and he meets his dad in the past, at that part when he was about to, like, meet his dad in that building, and he gave him, like, a false name, he, like, said, Howard Potts. He said, Jared was telling me that he had to pee. He literally ran to the theater almost as fast as Sonic the Hedgehog, because he came back within, like, 20 seconds. Like, he peed really fast. I'm like, damn, dude. Wow. He, like, just bolted. He had a big Coke, too, and I told him after he came back, I'm like, I warned you. I told you not to get a drink, and what'd you do? You got a drink anyway, let alone a big Coke. I'm like, this is why I didn't get a drink for the movie, because I knew that I would be in the same situation.
You know what makes no sense, though? It's like...
And I have a very shitty platter, so I'm like, I'm not getting a drink for this whole movie. I'm just gonna get popcorn, and that's what I did.
Yeah, but you know what's...
So I was fine for the whole movie.
You know what I didn't like, though? Was like, going back to the whole peeing thing for a minute?
Yeah.
It's like, why was this movie the only movie where people, like, really came up out of nowhere? It's like, well, this is a 3-hour movie. Like, it's not the first ever 3-hour movie, so calm your tits, first off. Second off...
You see my tits? They're calm.
Make them calmer. No, but it's like, it's not like the first ever 3-hour movie. And second off, like, no one's ever, like, cautioned before about, having to go pee in a 3-hour movie. So it's like, why is all of a sudden Avengers the most important thing of, like, don't buy a drink, don't do this. Like, I understand it's a trending movie of now, but, like, back in like, when I was a kid, like, there've been a couple 3-hour movies, like, I mean...
Were they as impactful as Endgame? That's the question. If they weren't, then this is why.
Well, no, but at the same time, it's not like...
Did they have 22 movies leading into the making of them in the span of 11 years?
No.
See?
No.
There you go.
You know what one thing I did like about the movie was how it all came together at the very end. Like,
that battle was insane. Oh my god.
Listen, for what it was, and I'm gonna say this right now, for what it was, I will only give her credit to this. Captain Marvel coming in was the single greatest thing coming in and destroying Thanos' ship.
That was actually cool.
Yeah. No, only because, not because I don't like the character herself, but because the fact that was what started the entire battle. If it were not for that, we would have ended. It would have started somehow in a different way. But her leading up to it though and making it happen was like we needed that just because.
One funny scene I remember also is like somewhere in the beginning when Iron Man sees Rocket for the first time and he's like, for this whole time at first I thought you were a Build-A-Bear.
No, but wait, let me ask you this though. If it's because you know a little bit more about Marvel than I do.
Yeah.
What if Captain Marvel wasn't there? Couldn't Iron Man just like the way he is now, being so as strong as he is now? Couldn't he just done the same thing? And just walk right through it without, like, getting a few minor scratches on his suit and say, fuck it.
I think he could have, yeah.
Like, that's why I'm not gonna go into the whole thing, but, like, that people hate Captain Marvel because she's saying she's the most powerful superhero, like, only she could have done that, but then it's like, you have other superheroes too, you could have done the same thing. Yeah,
Thor could have done it, no problem, he's a freaking god.
You could have took Hulk. You literally could have took Hulk and have him take Iron Man by the... Like, literally grabbed him and threw him through the fucking ship while he was thrusting on his rockets.
Yeah, he could do that.
Yeah, like, that would have been crazy.
Hell, Hulk could have just jumped through the ship and smashed it down on his own if he wanted to.
Okay, let me ask you this now.
Rather Dr. Banner, because...
That's what I'm going to ask you.
Dr. Banner was the one in the movie, because it's the Hulk's body, but Bruce Banner's brain.
What do you think of...
He combined his two parts to himself.
What do you think of that? Because I was kind of like... It was a little weird for me. It
was weird for me at first, but it is from the comics.
Yeah, but like, what did you think of that whole that interpretation of it?
I can't base it on the comics because I haven't read every comic, but I mean, I think they handled it well. I mean, it wasn't off-putting or weird to me. I mean, I got used to it pretty quickly.
One thing I will say about Hulk though, and it was a continuity error, I think.
What?
'Cause I know they were trying to just do the whole thing inside the style of what the movie was supposed to be, like of that one movie. Endgame, but like when after they defeated Loki in 2012, and then they brought Loki down, and then everyone was like, and Tony Stark or Iron Man was like, all right, let's go, let's bring it down to Agent Shield. We have the cube, let's bring it down to Agent Shield, whatever, stuff like that.
Yeah.
And then
when they were trying to get the Tesseract.
Yeah, when they got the Tesseract, and then it was like they all gather into the elevator, and then like. Whoa! You know there's a maximum occupancy right here. Hulk. You gotta use the stairs.
That scene was so funny.
But what I didn't get though was like when he was walking down the stairs, like I don't like stairs, whatever he was saying. But like in that time frame though of what that time frame was supposed to be, when the first Avengers was around, Hulk himself in prior movie didn't really speak. Like he was just grunting the whole time and getting angry. That's why I didn't understand why he was able to speak in that time frame, like in 2012. Now, you see what I'm saying?
Yeah, that is a little weird. But one thing I really loved, like the ending, like towards the end of the movie, where it's during the final battle, where they had like hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of different people on screen, whether on the Avengers side or on Thanos' side. There's so much stuff going on at once. I'm like, god damn, they really outdid this themselves in this one. Even with Infinity War, people were like wondering, how did you have a movie to this caliber that's like almost 3 hours long and have all these different actors and characters coming together from different franchises on screen and not have it be a jumbled mess? It's like, no, you handled it really well.
Wait.
But like, even here, I'm thinking the same thing again. I'm like, damn, how do you guys do this?
Let me ask you a question. Do you think, because I'm thinking about it now.
Because this shouldn't work, but they make it work because they get the right people. The Russo brothers know what they're doing.
Let me ask you this though. Do you think when they had, when everyone got brought back.
Yeah.
And then Spider-Man came back.
Yeah.
Do you think that they went a little bit too far with his character and like reverted him back to the very beginning of when he was in Homecoming? Like when he didn't know what he would do. Like he knew what he was doing, but he didn't know what he was doing.
Well, no, because he was dead for like 5 years and was so confused. He didn't know what was going on.
No, but I mean no, but the way he would like, he knew he had to go and defeat Thanos, but like the thing that I'm talking about is like when he like, like he was in battle
Yeah.
with everyone, and he just started saying hi. He got like all starstruck and everything, like in the beginning of Homecoming, when he was like he didn't know what he was doing and stuff like that.
I would still say no. I think that's kind of in line with his character because he was still a young kid just trying to figure out. How
but he figured it out, and at the end of Homecoming, he figured out what he needed to do and became the superhero that he was.
I don't know, then. I don't really think I can answer you on that one.
No, because it was just, but it was weird. Like, it was actually kind of cool to where I don't even know where the unicorn or the Pegasus came from. I know it came from Thor, I think, but like they just came out of nowhere, like fighting unicorns. Or Pegasus, or whatever you want to call them.
Yeah, I think I would more in line just call him Pegasus. But, like, yeah, I thought also it was a really touching scene when, like, Iron Man's, like, happy to see that Peter Parker's back, and then he just, like, hugged him. Like, alright, that's a very touching scene.
I know, because he's the one that brought him up to who he was.
He was mentoring him, yeah. Plus, he's the one that made him and gave him the Iron Spider suit. Like, he's the one that made that suit for him.
Oh, there's a quote.
Which is a really cool suit you can use in the Spider-Man game, by the way. It's a really awesome suit.
There's a quote from the movie I want to try to find, see if I can get it before my phone dies, because it was really funny. But, keep going.
One death that really hit me in the movie, because I loved her character. I was sad when, to get the Soul Stone, that, Hawkeye and Black Widow had to fight over who had to die, and then Black Widow fell up to her death for the Soul Stone. I'm like, I was really sad about that because I loved her character a lot. She was actually one of the most badass like female superhero characters there was. She's better than like Captain Marvel. Like I think she's a better female superhero than Captain Marvel. Plus, she's been around the block longer with that. Like, and Scarlett Johansson, she's a great actress too. I freaking love her. But I'm looking forward to seeing the prequel film of Black Widow that's coming out. Like, I'm like, you know what? I was surprised it didn't happen years ago. I mean, it could be interesting because we don't really know what they're going to do with that, with like her background of like her military training and everything. Like,
I mean, she had that one little like origin part in
Avengers 1.
And no, it was Age of Ultron.
Yeah, I don't really remember it though, because I watched that movie once and I never watched it again. The movie was kind of forgettable, at least in my opinion.
Well, do you remember when you compare
it to Infinity War and other movies?
When Ultron was kind of confusing everyone, and like they were seeing different things and whatnot? Like they were just like they were having like lucid dreams.
I think so, so I knew going into this movie also for like the past year, and everyone was speculating on it because their contracts, both of them were up. I knew it was either going to be Captain America or Iron Man that died. And Iron Man's death at the end of the movie, I'm not going to lie, I never cry anymore. I used to be a crybaby when I was a kid growing up. I wasn't sobbing, but I did have tears going down my cheeks for like 30 seconds towards the end of the movie.
That was a really sad moment.
That was really sad. Not only just that, but I'm like, it's sad because it's like, this is the end of an era. Like, this, you know when Iron Man came out? May 2nd, 2008.
I know, that's crazy.
We were 14 when that movie first came out and started this whole huge universe. We're 25 now. And I'm like, that just shows, I'm like, damn, we're getting really old.
We are.
Like, we're not kids anymore. And it's like, we grew up, well, I don't know about you, if you've watched, I know you've watched most of the movies. There's some you haven't, but I've watched, like, every one of the movies that leads into the series. Growing up, I've watched all of them as they came out. And some of them I've watched on, like, DVD afterwards, after they were not in theaters. Cause I didn't always go to the theaters for every single movie growing up. I didn't have a job or money at the time to do so.
Of course not, no.
But, well, the only one I haven't seen at all, but just because I saw the trailer and wasn't interested in it, I'm like, this kind of looks boring. I didn't watch Captain Marvel for that reason. But, like, I saw the trailer when it first came out. I'm like, this doesn't really look that exciting. I don't know. It's just, I didn't care. I gave that one a skip. But you don't really need to watch that movie to watch Endgame. You can just, if you want, watch the post-credit scene just to get the context.
Yeah, you just need to know that Captain Marvel exists.
And you also pretty much just need to know who the characters are. But, I mean, and stuff with them. But, I mean, you don't really need to, like, watch Captain Marvel to watch Endgame, so I just skipped right to Endgame.
Yeah, of course.
I watched Ant-Man and the Wasp. I liked that movie. I didn't think it was amazing, but I mean, it's passable. I liked it. But, you know, everyone's very indifferent about and has different mixed opinions on Ant-Man. I liked Ant-Man, but I know there are others that like him better when he's with everyone else because he has a bunch of characters to bounce off of.
Yeah, he's actually pretty great.
I loved him in this movie especially. But, I mean, yeah, that ending battle was just absolutely freaking insane. I loved that, like, everyone came back, and one at a time you just see different portals, and everyone comes back. Like, and then Spider-Man just comes swinging in, and I'm like, I loved that. I love that when you get, Black Panther, and, like, everyone from Wakanda that came in, Doctor Strange, and, like, I loved when that part came in. There was one funny joke, too. I think Wong is his name, or whatever his name, the Asian guy that's with, Doctor Strange that was in the movie, that, like, he trained with, in order to, like, learn his powers and everything. I love that when Steven says, "Is that everybody?" And then he's just like, "What, you wanted more?" And everyone in the theater was laughing at that part too, because it's like, yeah, you have like over 100 people here. Like, I don't think you're
100 superheroes.
Well over 100. Like, I'm like, I don't really think you need anyone else.
I mean, if you wanted to, the only people you could have dragged in after this would have to be anyone from
like X-Men and Fantastic Four,
and Deadpool, if you want to count that.
But well, people have been saying for a while that if in Phase 4 of the MCU, with any movies that come out now from here on out, that they're probably just going to have them as well, now that Disney owns Fox.
Yeah, it makes sense.
But since there's not going to be any more Avengers movies, I'm guessing X-Men and Fantastic Four are probably going to like make appearances in like the other Marvel movies coming out. Like maybe like Guardians 3 or Spider-Man Far From Home.
I'm still wondering what the hell going on with Guardians 3 though.
Or like Dark Phoenix. So like any other Marvel movie that comes out from now on, like here on out, like I'm guessing maybe they'll make appearances in those movies, but I don't know.
Wait, exactly. Do you think Guardians Volume 3 gonna have a tie-in with this part of the MCU?
It's probably gonna take place afterwards, because I'm assuming that, unless they decide to make it a prequel, but I don't know, because Black Widow's gonna be a prequel. But no, I don't think so. I mean, plus anyone that saw the trailer for Far From Home and saw Tom Holland's in it, obviously, it's like, he's a main character. Of course, they had to know, yeah, of course he's coming back in Endgame. Like, that's a given. These actors already scheduled to be casted in other films after Endgame. So it's like, yeah, of course, they're gonna come back. So I feel like that it's probably gonna take like place afterwards. I don't really know.
Well, I know Far Away is supposed to be
Far From Home.
Far From Home it's supposed to be taking place before Endgame.
I was gonna say, if it's before
Endgame. He got vanished, of course, and whatnot. I was
gonna say, before he was vaporized, so it's probably gonna end with him being vaporized then.
It can't do that.
If it's a prequel to Endgame, unless the post-credit scene is in, takes place after Endgame or something.
Well, no, because it would have to be before, technically speaking, before Infinity War, because he was in Infinity War, and that's when he got vaporized, so it would have to be before that.
Oh, well
then... it would lead up to it, probably.
Yeah. Ant-Man and the Wasp did the same thing, where the movie took place, like, a couple months after Captain America Civil War.
Yeah.
And it was when, Scott was under house arrest, and then in the post-credits scene, he goes into, like, that little dimension that, he can go into when he's in a suit.
Oh, yeah.
And then, like, the Wasp and her parents.
The quantum dimension.
Yeah, the quantum realm. That's what it was, quantum realm. When Scott's in the quantum realm, and then when the Wasp and her parents all of a sudden get vaporized, and then Scott is stuck there, it's like, yeah, because that's leading right into Infinity War. Because he wasn't there for Infinity War for the whole movie. He wasn't in it. Neither was Hawkeye. It was him and Hawkeye that were noticeably absent during Infinity
War. They weren't trying. They didn't say that they were going to try to bring everyone back for Infinity War. They were trying to say the ending of the whole thing will have every Avenger, thing leading up to it.
But the excuse of why Scott wasn't in Infinity War is because they're like, oh yeah, Ant-Man's under house arrest. Like, they mentioned that in Infinity War, I think, as well. I think they said, yeah, he's under house arrest.
That's more confusing than a homeless man on house arrest.
But, yeah, it doesn't take much to make me cry, but I cried watching this movie at the end. And my coworker, this guy Basil, he was saying, crying is not the hard part. The hard part is not crying.
That's I'll give you that. You know what I want to see though, even though it probably won't be a thing though. If they made an Iron Man 4, but it wasn't. But even though Tony dead, it would have to be his wife.
If they continue and have Iron Woman, because they did that during the final fight, which I didn't know they were going to even do that, but there was Iron Man and Iron Woman fighting because his wife Pepper was in another suit. I'm like, okay, that actually makes sense.
Well, then again, I don't know if that in that movie per se, because I know that Tony made the suit for Pepper just in case anything happened. But I don't know if she knows how to use it fully, to be a superhero type of thing. I think it was just everyone's here, everyone that has a power some way or another and getting in this action.
You know what, also, one scene that I did kind of cringe at, and I've seen many people talk about it before, and I don't disagree. A lot of people kind of got dragged, taken out of the movie. They're like, alright, this is kind of taking me out of the movie for a bit. Was for 10 seconds or however many seconds on screen where during the battle, they zoom in and show all of the badass, women fighters, and then they show Captain Marvel with them, and it's just they show them on screen as if it's just this feminist, girl power moment. And I'm like, was that really necessary? We're in the middle of a fight here where there's stakes here. People could die here. You're, trying to save the entire universe here, and
it's a movie. It's not something 100% realistic.
I'm not saying it has to be realistic, but I'm saying that part kind of made me cringe a little bit.
No, I understand what you're saying.
And I'm not the only one, where it's just that kind of wasn't really that necessary, because you didn't seem like that with all of the men, where it's just, man power. It's no, why do we need this with anyone? Just get on with the fight. I want to see the action. I want to see people kicking ass. I don't want to just see we're walking on the screen, girl power. No.
You know what? You know what part of the movie I really liked, and it threw me for a fucking loop?
And I know I'm probably going to piss people off by saying that, but I mean, that's just how I felt.
No.
And I'm not alone on that one, keep that in mind.
You know what part in the movie, I loved a lot?
What?
And it's probably one of my favorite scenes, because as an action part. Not so much action, but a story moment. Cause it threw me for a fucking loop, and I was like, oh, they're gonna do it, they're just gonna go through this whole thing and beat Thanos right now, and get back to the future, get back to the present, and it's going over. And then you find out that fucking Nebula fucking got her CPU synchronized with the other copy of Nebula. And it was just now we can contact and get Thanos just found out every memory of the other Nebula. From the one the good version of Nebula.
The present one, yeah.
The present one.
Yeah,
and then it's they've found out everything that happened in the future, and then just that, it was damn, you knew that fucking Thanos was going in it. He knew everything. I was like, god damn, I knew they couldn't make it too easy.
Yeah.
I was like,
I knew something was gonna happen with that, where it's now they're controlling her. But I love also that Thanos, when he accepts he's just been defeated and doesn't know what to do with himself, he just sits down on a bench and just dies. He just sits down on the bench, he's like, alright, you guys win, and he just vaporizes. So yeah.
I loved it when every time Thor was in the movie and he's just well, I'm the one, in a drunken mess, I don't care what you have to say, who's the one that killed Thanos? Who's the one that chopped off his head? Me. I don't need anything from you guys.
I love that even his mom, when he goes back to the past in the events of Thor: The Dark World to get the stone from.
Can you explain this to me?
When him and Rocket go back to get the stone from Jane, that they were getting they were all trying to get the Infinity Stones. The stone they were getting, they go to get the one from Jane that they had to extract from her. His mom in the past is even yeah, you should eat a salad.
What I never understood those, he never fully came back though. He never got I thought he was gonna someone gonna slap him in the face, tell him to go back into the other room and work out until you're ready.
Yeah, but they didn't have time for that, man. They had to act now. I'm sure in future movies though, with Chris Hemsworth, I'm sure he's going to be fit again though. I don't think they're going to keep him permanently fat.
No, I mean that was just for the movie, but
that wouldn't make any sense.
No, but I mean, if you think about the movie itself,
he got fat because he was really depressed.
I know, but if you think about the movie though, it's you have time travel. Anything is possible. You have all the time in the world at that point.
What kind of... I guess it only makes sense because it's a movie and they wanted to keep it different. But Perry even told me, like, in the comics, they're able to undo the deaths that were caused by the Time Stone, so they weren't permanent. But in the movie, of course, they changed that to make it to, like, okay.
More dramatic.
Yeah, I guess that's why, because it's like, okay, well, we can't bring Black Widow back. We tried. It's like, but in the comics, they could do stuff like that, but I guess
But you could have... Yeah. But even if you couldn't, you could have brought back the past version of Black Widow.
That is true, because they did that with Gamora.
That's what I'm saying.
The current Gamora, the reason why Gamora in the end, when Star-Lord and her got reunited and he was all happy to see she was alive again, when she attacked, like she hit him in the balls, yeah, it's because she was confused. That Gamora didn't know her. That Gamora didn't know him because that's not the one he's used to.
I just thought of something, yeah.
The one he's used to was the one that died. It's like, okay, she doesn't remember everything because this is a past version of her.
I just thought of something now. That ending part, when they went after like you find out that what do you call it, like that ending part where like Tony died and everything, and then Thor has his own life back again, and then goes back with Star-Lord and everyone else.
Well, in the comics, he does join the Guardians of the Galaxy.
Yeah, but that's
so Guardians 3 could have Thor in it. We don't know exactly yet. I don't know.
I'm pretty sure it will, because maybe that was the end credit thing that they didn't want to lead into, though. Because it doesn't make any sense why they would put that in there and not have it for Guardian 3.
Plus, I've heard people saying there could be a Thor 4, but I don't know if there will be, considering Asgard's destroyed. He can't go back to his home. So the only thing that makes sense is if he's...
What do you mean? What do you think he did at the end of the movie, though? He gave, what do you call it, the power of Asgard to that woman.
That's just like what's left of it, though. They were like rebuilding, like
yeah, what I'm saying. So he can technically go back whenever,
unless they like rebuild completely from scratch. But what I think makes sense is if like he's gonna be in, as I said, Guardians 3. But I didn't see him in a trailer for Guardians 3, so I don't know. Maybe
did they have the actual trailer for it?
I think there was a while. I don't remember. I don't know.
Got a fan made trailer.
I don't know. All I know is that he could be in Guardians 3 or any other movies because. I don't think Chris Hemsworth's contract is up. I know Chris Evans and Robert Downey Jr.'s were. But,
yeah. But that's like, why they technically had to kill them off.
So in whatever movie next that Chris Hemsworth is in for the MCU, I'm sure then he'll be back to his normal ripped looking self.
I love how
he'll lose the fat suit.
I love how he didn't it didn't faze him that like all his efforts in Infinity War were for nothing when he tried to kill Thanos with the axe.
Yeah, when he used the Stormbreaker.
Yeah, the Stormbreaker, but then it's like...
Because he didn't hit you for the head.
Yeah, but then Thanos actually, I think... Didn't he destroy that thing?
No, he didn't, because...
Because there's no way, there was no context for, you just literally have the axe directly in Thanos' body right now, in the middle of his body. About to kill him, and then after everything happened after Infinity War, then it's all of a sudden he just has his axe back. He just randomly can grab it.
Yeah, because it didn't break, because you saw it in the final battle.
Yeah, I know, that was actually cool. I was now he actually can get it. It was the first thing, he didn't go for his hammer.
Towards the end, he summoned both Mjolnir and he summoned the Stormbreaker, which I thought was pretty badass. It's instead of getting one, you use both of them. Okay.
You know who should be in there, but I don't know if it can ever happen?
Well, you know what's strange? That I noticed this too. In the comics, Bucky becomes the next Captain America. They snubbed him at the end and instead made Falcon become the next Captain America.
Well, because he was more in line. He was also in
So it's Bucky kind of got just snubbed at the end. Who cares about him? Which sucks because he's a good character. I like him.
Yeah.
But they changed that at the end. Unless in a future movie, somehow they eventually make him the new Captain America. I don't know. Maybe, I don't know. I don't think his contract's up. I don't know. I could be wrong, but...
Well, if they do a Captain America 3...
Who knows, because they do tend to change things a lot from the comics.
If they do Captain America 3, I'm pretty sure that both of them will be in it, no matter, regardless.
Well, Civil War was Captain America 3.
What was the second one?
The Winter Soldier. That was when Bucky came back. Everyone thought he was dead after the first Captain America. He came back in Winter Soldier, and that was Bucky.
Winter Soldier, and so okay.
Yeah,
I forgot about that.
Winter Soldier was awesome too.
I know, I saw that one.
That was, I think, the first that was the first Captain America movie that had Black Widow in it. But that was like, because that came out after for the first Avengers. Because Avengers 1 was Phase 1, Winter Soldier was Phase 2.
Yeah.
And that was like the next movie she was in, I believe.
You know what would be a cool thing, and I would love to see it but of course, like, they have to create new stories and new characters, and I don't know if they actually have new characters or whatnot to work off of, if they're allowed to make new characters. Like, not like temporary characters that show up like an episode or two or like a series or something like that.
Speaking of series, you know what's interesting? Scarlet Witch and Vision are greenlit to get a TV series, and there's also going to be a Loki TV series.
Of course. But is it going to be like live action?
Yeah.
Like on Netflix type of deal? No, not Netflix, but on a Disney platform?
That's the thing. I don't know yet. They didn't say anything yet, but I'm assuming that they're probably going to be on either one of the other TV stations, like how Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. is, or maybe it's going to be on Netflix or Disney streaming platform.
I think it's going to be Disney now because...
Yeah, probably.
I think it could be Disney because the only reason why they didn't move Luke Cage and they didn't move...
Daredevil.
Daredevil, I don't know about Daredevil, but I know Jessica Jones they didn't move.
Well, Jessica Jones isn't canceled yet. They're still going to do season 3 and then it'll be canceled.
That's what I'm saying. Like,
yeah, that's the last one that they didn't cancel yet. They're like, season 3 is coming out.
There's a whole thing about Netflix that I would love to get into and talk about, but that'll be for another segment. Yeah, another video.
Because then that would make this podcast 2 hours long.
Yeah, I know.
And we're going to wrap it up in a bit, so.
Yeah. But, going back to what I was saying, though, is if they could use any other character, like, it would make a new character.
Yeah.
If they made a Thor 4, I would love to branch out and go into Kratos territory with Thor.
Make Norse mythology, yeah.
Because it's kind of in the comics in itself.
He fights a guy.
Kratos wasn't in there.
He fights a guy that's kind of like Kratos, actually, from what I heard.
Like Kratos, as in Kratos from God of War PS3 era or God of War PS4 era. Because that was like two separate. Like if you think about it, they're two separate characters. In the same...
I don't know. I just know that he fights a guy that's apparently like Kratos.
Because I love how Kratos can have the same kind of power as Thor in God of War. So I'm like... And then the PS4 version. So I'm like, if you want to put that... Not make it too similar, but make it, like... All Greek mythology characters have, like, similar powers, but at the same time they have their own unique thing.
Yeah.
Cause like,
well, with Thor, with Thor and like God of War, that's like the route that game was going was Norse mythology. So like. Yeah.
Then again, because I don't think I could see a Marvel movie with like Spartan stuff with it.
So like the 9 realms, like from the God of War, like PS4 game, and that they mention those realms throughout the Thor movies. Yeah, those are all from like Norse mythology. So
yeah, I know.
I think it could happen.
Yeah, I just don't want, like, I don't want to go back into the territory of, like, PS3.
I kind of doubt it, though.
I don't want to, if they ever get it, though, I don't want them to go into PS3 territory, because it was, like, PS2, PS3, it was, like, Ghosts of Sparta, Chain of Olympus.
Ghosts of Sparta and Chain of Olympus were on the PSP.
I have an idea, but this is outlandish.
What?
Since Disney owned Marvel anyway.
Yeah.
What if they did a Thor and Hercules movie together?
Okay, that would be interesting.
It would be weird, because it's two different things, but they can make a live-action version. It's like, Thor just, like they just go over Mount Olympus and see Thor for, like, 2 seconds and then walk away as a cameo. Or the Easter egg.
If that was used as, like, a joke, I could actually see that happening. He's like, oh, who's that guy? And it's, like, Thor knows it's Hercules, so he's just like, who cares, forget about him.
No, it's like, say if Hercules was there, right? He'd go over Mount Olympus and he goes over the whole thing and, he passes over, like, I don't know how Hercules would have to go on a Pegasus, whatever, and fly. And he's flying over, like, Asgard, and he's like, wow, this place really let itself go. Look at that guy down there.
That's actually
just a reference at Endgame.
Just a reference, like, the Thor is all disheveled and depressed and fat.
Like, not that would happen, but...
So you know what Perry said to me the other day that I thought was funny?
What?
You know how to get the Soul Stone that you have to sacrifice that which you love the most? Thor could have saved Black Widow if he sacrificed his kegs of beer instead. That's what Perry said. And then he would have gotten the Soul Stone. And then he's like, am I wrong?
No, wait, I have a theory now. Because you said that. Hawkeye was with Black Widow.
Yeah.
Was Black Widow the thing he loved the most, not his wife?
They were best friends.
But the thing you love the most. You're supposed to love your wife more. Technically, if you think about love, you love your wife more than your friends. In that sense. Because that's like your partner for life. You see what I'm saying? Now, would they have a... Even though there's a whole love triangle between, I think, like... If Hawkeye was to like Black Widow, but Black Widow also tried to like Hulk in some way.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? Not Dr. Banner, but Bruce Banner.
Yeah. No, I know what you mean.
Yeah.
I don't really know, man. That's a tough one to answer, but I mean...
I'll leave it up to you guys. Tumblr it.
That one's
Internet
up,
it.
That one's up in the air.
Some fan fiction out there, probably.
Oh, no. I don't want to look on DeviantArt, but don't answer that for me.
Oh, you know what would be crazy?
What?
Just to see, if they reference Iron Man, it's like, well, we have all this stuff now that, Agent S.H.I.E.L.D. not a thing really anymore. So you have all the technologies just stuck up in Stark Industries right now. Like, every single, Avenger, just gets, their own, Iron Man, suit,
their own, iron suit of their suit. Like Spider-Man, how he has his iron spider suit.
Exactly. I can see Black Widow doing that.
Ooh.
Or Captain America getting that. Imagine that.
That would be cool. So, yeah, I think I'd rate this game I think I rate this movie, I'd give it, an A. I definitely would love to see this movie again. At least I would know more of what to expect this time, so I don't know if I'd cry watching it this time.
No.
But,
I don't think I would either, but...
And plus, I wouldn't at least be like the woman that hyperventilated herself into a hospital, so it could be worse. But, definitely, if you haven't seen this movie, you really should watch it. Just don't get a drink. And also, don't even bother staying for the credits, because there's no, post-credit scene. So.
No, it's literally just a montage.
That's during the credits. Post-credits, the only thing there is the banging of, the hammers from the cave in the very first Iron Man movie when Tony's making the very first suit of Iron Man.
Yeah.
That prototype suit when he was fight the terrorists. When he's banging the hammer in that movie to make the suit, that banging of that hammer is literally the only sound you hear post-credits. Then it just says Marvel Studios. It's I'm like, okay, that makes sense because this is the start of the whole universe for the MCU when it started. So it makes sense that they referenced back to that movie by doing that. But you really don't have to stay for that because it's 5 seconds. That's it. So once the movie's over, just leave. They did that purposely because the movie theaters want to just get people the hell out and be like, all right, go home. Why are you here? Just go.
Listen, you know what I'm mad about? And then, I know it was never going to be a thing anyway. It was, just a joke.
What?
But I was mad about the fact that they didn't go with the whole internet joke about how Endgame was going to end. Where Ant-Man was just going to come out of the quantum realm, fly onto Thanos, go up his ass, and expand.
Yeah, I forgot about that. Alright, so, I think
I think it would be too cringy to watch. You just Thanos explode and himself.
So I think that's all I wanted to say about this movie. Well, that and also one more thing. I hope that the guy that got free tickets for this movie last year in advance had a great time, to whoever he is. Because last year, there was a crazed fan, he was crazy enough to spend money on seeing Infinity War 42 times while it was in theaters. And Marvel caught wind of it, and then in order to thank him, they sent him free tickets for Endgame.
Wow.
So they're like, alright, here's your free tickets for next year's Avengers movie in a year in advance. But you know how much money you have to spend? If the average price of a ticket is $15, and you do the math of 42 times, that's over $600. I don't know the exact math. I can't do math right now, but I think someone told me at work that that's $650 or something. 42 times 15.
Yeah.
Somewhere around there. I know regardless, you're spending a lot of money doing that.
No, but that's not, but do you think about that, plus the amount of time you went there, for getting the drink and popcorn?
Yeah, but I'm talking about as far as just buying a ticket. I don't know if you're going to want to buy popcorn and soda every single time you're going to see the same movie.
you never know, because, people you need something to snack on while you go into a movie.
Yeah. Alright, so I think that's about wraps it up. You people really, really need to see this movie. Yeah, you'll love it. That's all I'm gonna say.
Yeah,
I would say I'm not gonna spoil it for you, but we already spoiled it for the people that already saw it. So
okay, wrap it up with
because we went to spoiler territory.
Because I don't know what way you can do this, but if you have not caught up with all the movies and you have not and you want to watch Endgame, but you have not seen like the other Avengers movies, I would recommend watching those. But there's movies in between you have to watch. But like, what are the important movies in between to watch?
The Captain America movies are important.
Well, I mean, all the superhero movies are important to watch. But I mean, like if you watch Iron Man 1, 2, and 3, you don't have to watch all of them. Which ones should you watch to get you to know the idea of how this whole thing is going?
I would definitely watch the first one and the third one if you had to choose. The second one can kind of be off on its own, but I mean. There's like a whole list that you can even find online of like the movies that are the most important. Plus, I remember even something like that back in the day of like the first Avengers movie during Phase 1 territory, where the main two movies that you had to watch to watch Avengers was, it was Thor and Captain America, because both of those movies involved the Tesseract.
Yeah, so that makes a lot of sense.
So for that movie, those two were the most important to watch. But it's better if you'd also have watched Iron Man 1 and Hulk at the time. But, I mean...
Wait.
Hulk out of all those was the least important, but, I mean...
Wait, what is the Tesseract in relation to the Infinity Stones?
One of the Infinity Stones was inside the Tesseract. It's
okay, that's why.
Yeah, like...
Encasing it, yeah.
Yeah, because in Infinity War, if you remember...
Because I never saw any of the Thor movies, that's why.
Because in Infinity War, if you remember, Thanos broke the Tesseract and there was one of the stones that was in it.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right.
I don't remember which one exactly, but one of the Infinity Stones was inside it.
Was that the same stone that was in the staff? Loki's staff? Or was that something different?
I don't remember. But, yeah. I think that about wraps us up.
Alright, so thank you so much for listening, watching, and viewing our content. Like I said, on YouTube, like, comment, subscribe. If you like this, subscribe to our podcast if it's gonna be up there for more episodes. We don't have a schedule yet of when we're gonna release the type of podcast thing. It's just like whenever we do it. And I don't like that in the sense of a podcast format, but we'll try our best to get content out as soon as we can. And on that note, like I said, thank you for watching. Thank you for listening. Like, comment, subscribe, and click the links in the description. Feel free to ask us questions or comments in the comment section on YouTube, or email us, and we'll try to answer any questions you have at the end of... This is just the testing phase, so, like, we're gonna make it a lot shorter, so people are actually engaged to want to listen. But, like I said, if you want to ask us any questions, whatever, we'll answer them at the end of the next one we have, next podcast we have, and we'll see you guys in the next episode. Peace out.